A very good afternoon. It's the 7th of January 2022. You're watching Lunchtime News coming to you live and direct from our Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. Bringing you the news, I'm Mariam Gunavijaya. Before we head on to our stories in detail, here is a look at your headlines for this afternoon.
Queues to purchase gas seen across the country today as well. A failure reported in a generator at the Kalanithissa power plant. Shortage in the harvest produced in the Maha season. Fertilizer yet to be provided. The World Health Organization issues warnings against describing the Omicron variant as mild.
Let's start off with a look at some news from here at home. A practical solution to the current gas shortage in the country has not been provided yet. Our cameras captured footage from Matra where people lined up in queues to buy gas cylinders. This was the situation in Koskoda Hagalla. Police intervened and provided tokens for those who were waiting in line for gas cylinders to be delivered. A gas distribution truck arrived at the Ratgama police at 7 this morning. Vehicular movement along the Gaul Road was disrupted owing to the gas queues in the area. Thank you. While the gas shortage continues to hamper the daily routine of the general public, queues to purchase milk powder were also seen. Long queues were observed opposite the National Milk Powder Store located in Mirihana in Nugegoda as well. The consumers said although tokens were issued in the past to purchase milk powder, tokens were not issued today. Also in headline-making news this afternoon, the Ceylon Electricity Board says power cuts are likely today as well in various parts of the country. The issue comes at times when the daily demand for electricity is high. The supply of electricity to multiple areas including Kotte, Nugegoda and Maharagama were disrupted last night following an issue in a generator at the Kalanithissa power plant. General Manager of the CEB R.M. Ranatunga said 135 megawatts of power was lost due to the issue at the Kalanithissa power plant, adding that another 76 megawatts of power was lost due to an issue in a generator at the Kukuleganga power plant. According to the CEB, the generator at the Kukuleganga power plant has been restored, but the generator at the Kalanithissa power plant is yet to be fully restored. Meanwhile, farmers have been left helpless due to the fertilizer shortage in the country. Water supply for paddy cultivation to the Mahavali Sea Zone during the Maha and Yala seasons is obtained from the Ratkida Reservoir in Ulhitia. It has been a month since farmers cultivated in the Hobiriava paddy fields attached to the Girandurukote section of the Mahavali Sea Zone. Although the Assistant Agricultural Research Official of the area had collected funds promising fertilizer for the season, no measures have been taken to provide the promised stock of fertilizer. As a result, the farmers are facing many issues while the crops have started to turn yellow. The farmers are requesting for a swift solution to the matter. Meanwhile, farmers of Kumbalvela in Bandaravela, whose livelihood has been cultivation, are facing many difficulties. The expectation of obtaining required fertilizer for the crops has been limited to only a dream, while cultivated crops have already been destroyed. Representatives of 37 farmers' organizations in the Eppavala division of the Mahavali H zone convened a media briefing yesterday. These were the views expressed.
The agriculture minister does not have any knowledge regarding agriculture. He is an individual who eats bread and not rice. He does not know how to speak the language. He is not even aware of the different varieties of paddy. He does not know about soil, and he does not know about the stages of a plant's growth. The Minister of Agriculture, who is not even aware of the fact that Sri Lanka is an agricultural state, goes on to state to resolve food shortages. Food will be imported. We only appointed the government. We will send them home as well.
For public servants, 5,000 rupees. For pensioners, 5,000 rupees. For those who cultivated 5 perches, also 5,000 rupees. Now we have lost the fertilizer we need to cultivate. We have lost the medicine. Our paddy fields have turned yellow, and after we have been dragged to the streets, now they're giving us 5,000 rupees and telling us to survive with it, if we can. We don't need that 5,000 rupees if we are provided with the fertilizer and medicine. We could have worked hard and earned our living in lakhs. What is 5,000 rupees? That is like a drop of water to the Sahara Desert. A kilo of green chili is 1,000 rupees. Here's the 5,000. Can we buy milk powder from a shop because we were given 5,000 rupees? There is no milk powder. Can we buy gas? There is no gas. We will have to eat 5,000 rupees only.
There is no country in South Asia where dollar reserves reduced compared to 2020. Who are they lying to? After getting into debt and asking China for yuans, they are boasting that they will somehow import rice to solve the food shortage. With the harvest of the Maha season reducing, we have to import 900,000 metric tons of rice. It costs more than $300 million. We would like to ask Mahindananda Rudgamage, where would he find this money? You brought this country to bankruptcy. They have bulldozed agriculture that has nothing to do with COVID-19.
Even if you give the people 20,000 rupees instead of 5,000 rupees, there is a shortage of goods in the market. Dollars must be found and the necessary imports must be done. The pressure faced by the people cannot be mitigated by printing money. There are queues because of a shortage. If Basil Rajapaksa is satisfied with the 5,000 rupees, the queues to purchase gas and milk should not be there. They follow the economic policies of inexperienced people and ruin the country.
In more local news, the Inter-University Students' Federation is staging a protest in Colombo. This is against the move to hand over the ownership of the oil tank farm in Trincomalee to India.
They have taken measures to sell the oil tanks. The solution to the current crisis is not selling the national assets of the country. The issue related to the foreign currency has not been resolved yet. Eventually, the people will not have a country to live. If there is an agreement that has to be notified to the people, the MPs and President has not been elected to operate as if the country is owned by them. Each and every citizen of this country has the right to know the contents of any agreement. They have the right to know since these agreements can be detrimental to everyone. However, they are doing everything in closed doors and leading the country to destruction. The agreements to develop Trincomalee oil tank farm were signed yesterday. The Office of the Minister of Energy in a statement said that a majority of the tanks at the Trincomalee oil tank farm, which were under Lanka IOC, will now be under Ceylon Petroleum Corporation as a development project. The statement added that 85 of the 99 tanks will be under the control of the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation. The statement noted that the agreement signed in 2003 thus be terminated and the Trincomalee oil tank farm will be leased for a period of 50 years to the 3 entities. According to an announcement by the Ministry of Energy, Secretary to the Ministry of Finance S.R. Artigula, Chairman of the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation Sumit Vijay Singha, Managing Director of the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation Buddhika Madhiheva, and Managing Director of the Indian Oil Company Manoj Gupta signed the agreement.
Former JVP MP Sunil Handunetti expressed the following views regarding the agreement signed with India to hand over the control of the Trincomalee oil tank farm.
What they are saying now is all those oil tanks that have not been used will be refurbished. That is what they are trying to do. If this is a good move, there's no need to do this behind closed doors. The people who voted for these faulty rulers are not wrong, because the intention of these people are genuine. These rulers are hitting back at the genuine intention. That is what they are selling now. They are selling the power sources of the country. They are selling the ports. They are selling the sovereignty of the country. We cannot let that happen. We should stop this either by taking to the roads or by protesting. Let them sign the agreements. However, they have to implement those agreements in this land. All those agreements signed behind closed doors should be implemented out in the open, in front of the people of this country. Therefore, we will not let it happen. We cannot let it happen.
Also, in an update about the COVID-19 situation from here at home, the Director General of Health Services yesterday confirmed that 18 COVID deaths were reported in the country on Wednesday, the 5th of January. Accordingly, the COVID-19 fatalities now stands at 15,083. 584 COVID-19 cases were reported in the country yesterday as well. This raises the total caseload of COVID infections in Sri Lanka to 590,063. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health also announced that children between the ages of 12 and 15 will be vaccinated starting today.
The vaccination rollout will commence at the Lady Ridgeway Hospital for Children in Borella. Meanwhile, Minister of Health Kehelia Rambukwalla has informed that school teachers who have not received the booster jab will be able to administer the vaccine at school vaccination centres.
In developments from overseas, the World Health Organization has warned against describing the Omicron variant as mild, saying it is killing people across the world. Recent studies suggest that Omicron is less likely to make people seriously ill than previous COVID variants. The WHO chief Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said, however, the record number of people catching it has left health systems under severe pressure. He said a record 9.5 million cases of COVID were tallied around the world over the last week, noting a 71% surge in the weekly count of infections, amounting to a tsunami as the new Omicron variant sweeps worldwide.
Last week, the highest number of COVID-19 cases were reported so far in the pandemic, and we know for certain that this is an underestimate of cases. We need vaccine equity, treatment equity, test equity, and health equity, and we need your voices to drive that change. Equity, equity, equity.
On Monday, the US recorded more than 1 million COVID cases in 24 hours. Yesterday, the UK reported almost 180,000 cases and over 230 COVID-related deaths. A number of hospitals have declared critical incidents due to staff absence and rising pressures due to COVID. Elsewhere, hospital numbers are also rising. The French health minister warned this week that January would be tough for hospitals. In more local news, 2 men were arrested by the police special task force in Ampara for the possession of Gajamuthu or elephant pearls worth over 50 million rupees.
They were arrested when transporting the Gajamukta close to the Buddhangala crematorium in Ampara. Interrogation of the suspects revealed that the suspects had illegally entered the Yala, Kumana and Uddavalava national parks, poached wild elephants and sawed off their tusks. The suspects had told police that they were preparing to sell the elephant pearls for 50 million rupees. Police Special Task Force arrested a drug smuggler with heroin and gold. The suspect was arrested at a house in Tangol. 5 million rupees was also seized during the raid. The suspect has been handed over to the Police Narcotics Bureau for further investigations.
The final rites of the late Mrs. Jinavati Gopallava is to be carried out in Matale tomorrow.
Mrs. Jinavati Gopallava Aluvihare, the wife of former cabinet minister Alec Aluvihare, passed away yesterday. She is the mother of former state ministers Ranjit Aluvihare and Vasanta Aluvihare. The mortal remains of late Mrs. Jinavati Gopallavalu Vihare were laid at a private funeral parlour until yesterday afternoon. It was escorted to the residence in Matale last night. Opposition leader Sajit Premadasa paid his final respects to late Mrs. Jinavati Gopallavalu Vihare.
Governor of the Central Bank, Ajit Nivard Cabral, in a series of tweets has clarified the position on remittances today.
He said the remittances by Sri Lankan expats are not subject to the rule on the conversion of export proceeds, as those are not considered services exports. He added that those can't and won't be converted into Sri Lankan rupees without the consent of the recipient. However, the governor said that in the case of merchandise or services exports by resident Sri Lankans, residual earnings have to be converted into Sri Lankan rupees after deducting the permitted payments. The deductions permitted are outward remittances in respect of current transactions, withdrawal in forex as permitted, debt servicing expenses, purchases of goods and services, investment in Sri Lanka development bonds.
And finally, in some cricket news this afternoon. Third day's play of the fourth Ashes Test between England and Australia is currently underway at the Sydney Cricket Grounds in Australia. A short while ago, batting in their first innings, England were 249 runs for the loss of 7 wickets. And with that, we bring to a close this edition of Lunchtime News here on TV1. For details of these stories and much more, you can log on to our website, which is www.newsfirst.lk. Thank you for watching. A very good day to you and take care.